Hello guys, welcome to today's art session once again. I'm going to try something new today. So the idea is, I did some color mock-ups of Humpty Dumpty in Procreate, and while I'm really happy with the whole direction everything's heading in, I just really feel like, traditional watercolor is going to bring just that different element, that little something that I'm looking for, that you can't really get with digital art. So I've decided I'm going to start with one of the simpler spreads, and hopefully we can go from there. Hopefully I can tackle some of those more complex spreads that we've been working on later down the track. But before I do that, I'm going to need some different materials because those pages are super big. So I'm probably going to have to buy bigger than A3, which is pretty large. It's going to cost me about $20 per page if I want to do it on my favorite watercolor paper. So it's going to be like $80 for the whole book if I don't make any mistakes on any of those spreads. Hello, Chaz. How are you doing? I'm really good. How are you? Took a long break because I've been really unwell recently, but the last day or two have been a lot better. So hopefully, now I can get back into arting, back into streaming. So yeah, one thing I have felt recently is I really need some different shades of watercolor. So at the moment I don't have any. I'm just gonna have to, work with what I've got. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'll show you guys briefly. I just open the iPad. I'll see how it looks. So this is the color mock-up that I did on Procreate. And I'm really happy with it. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing, there's nothing wrong about it. But what I just feel like I want a little something different, just those little flecks of paint. I'm a fan of traditional painting, so, it's always gonna have that special place in my heart. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, got my color mock-up. So the main thing, the first thing I want to do is start with the background. And I really want to have it beautifully smooth and, inching out. So first things first, I really need to have a clean area to mix some paint because pretty much my whole palette is full of different colors, and I really don't want to end up with a messy looking spread. So I'm going to clean that up, and hopefully I can get a nice pink that sort of melts away into the background, just like I did in Procreate. That'll be awesome. So how have you been, Chaz? How has your day gone? I hope you've been really well. Okay, so what we're gonna do is gotta make sure my brush is super clean. I'm going to start by wetting all of this paper because I really want a nice beautiful bleed, and I just want the paper nice and shiny. So if this doesn't work out, I'm just gonna start over. Gonna keep going and keep going. So I really just don't want to go over the white bits, because those are the parts that I want nice and crisp looking. But everything else is okay. Fair game. So I'm just wetting the paper, so you guys probably can't see, but I'm just keeping track of the nice shine on my paper. It's all gonna be pink. Nice pink sky just melting into that background. So I just want it properly wet, and then I'll start, you know, adding my other colors, spreading it out. So I'm not sure if I should start maybe on just doing one side first, and then because the paper's drying fairly quickly, and I really need it to be perfectly wet, otherwise it's not going to work out for me. There we go. All nice and wet. So let me mix up that beautiful orange-like pink. That's what we want, right? That like kind of sunset-y look. That's what I'm after. Like a peach. A beautiful peach. So I don't want it too orange, but also not too red. And I'm gonna make sure that this blends beautifully. Probably need a ton more water, because that is not quite the bleed I was looking for. I need it to blend out nice and smooth. And a little experimentation will get me there. I really do need a larger area to mix this painting, because it's not quite, you know, giving me the effect that I want. Not enough room to mix it up in my palette. Hey Doverkin, how are you doing? Glad to see you on. I hope you've had a good day at work. So I really wanted to come out just a little bit more. So I'm going to inch it out just like that. Really getting that lovely smooth blend that I wanted. Thank you, Doverkin. Thank you so much for the bits. Just wanted to say hi to your favorite streamer. Hope I'm doing well. You will catch up with me later. No worries, Doverkin. Thank you so much for the bits, and thank you for stopping by and saying hello. I hope you're doing well. I am definitely doing a lot better than I've been, so that's good. So yeah, we're just doing some watercolor today, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this part of the process. just gonna clean this area of my palette. So I need to mix up some more paint, and that area is just not enough for me to properly mix. So there we go. That should be a good amount to play with. Now I don't want those pesky little lines around my image, so I need to... That's also a reason I really don't enjoy using mask out, because they always leave these ugly white rims around everything, and I'm not a fan. So I try to just be careful. Hello, Jose. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Humpty in watercolors looks fantastic. Can't wait to see the completed piece. Well, thank you. I really do hope it turns out to be good. This is sort of the starter experiment, so if it doesn't all turn out exactly how I need it, that's alright, you know? I can work with that. Oh no, why have we gotten black on the brush there? Really cannot have any black on the brush right now, because I need it to be as clean and crisp as we can possibly get. There we go. That is perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Strange that I have these tiny little pieces of my brush sticking to the paper. It's always such a pain to get rid of. There we go. No worries, Dovikin. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here. Robin! Glad to see you. I'm so glad your package arrived today. That's awesome. I hope you enjoyed the stickers as well. Those were the only ones I have, unfortunately, so, you know, until I get more, that's all I could give you. Didn't have any other stickers. I'm trying to get rid of this sort of streaky look. So I need to break it up just a little bit. Hello, Kishnobi! I am really feeling a lot better, thank you. Yeah, yesterday I started to feel heaps better, so I just decided to rest for a day before I started streaming, so... Cookie Muncher, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Glad to hear that, Jose. I'm glad you're doing well. That's awesome. Oh, we got Hug a Plushie redeem. Let me think about one. I will go and grab one. Be right back. So I have brought my Uniskelly, which is one of my favorite plushies ever. I don't remember where I got her from, but it was from a fashion store. But she is absolutely adorable and so cuddly. She's got cute little ribbons on either side of her head. As you can see, she's absolutely beautiful. And she's also a little bag, so if you want to carry her around, you can do that as well. But yeah, absolutely love her. Thank you for the redeem, Robin. Thank you. Really needed that plushie hug right now. I'm sure she'll be a huge help for the rest of this drawing. So I'll just pop her over there and she can be of assistance to us. Adorbs? Yeah, she really is. She really is. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, man, what's that artist's name again? Trying to think of their name, but there's recently been an artist that released a new plush toy, and he does the craziest plushies. So I'll think of the name. If the name comes back to me, I'll show you guys. But man, I love his work. Absolutely love his work. I probably really should let this dry instead of picking at it all the time. It's not gonna help me get it all nice and smooth, you know. And I really, really do need this to be beautiful and smooth. So, I need to leave it for a little bit. Note to self that self then ignores, right? Can't help it. I just don't want any of these stronger lines drying with it. That's all. There we go. So I'm either going to do this faded out look. So I want to try two ideas. If the faded out look goes really well, then I'll stick with it. Otherwise, I'm going to try and just have this splash of the watercolor of pink behind Humpty, and we'll see how that works. So kind of a bit of an experiment, you know, whichever design I end up going with, I'm sure it'll work out fine. You know. But yeah, I really do need to get some white out because some of the more complex pieces, like the other spreads of Humpty I've been working on, are definitely going to need it. Do I have quite a few plushies? I actually do, yeah, Kishnobi. I really love to collect quirky, like, artist plushies, plush toys that are a little bit different. I really love to collect those. So usually my plush toys are kind of, you know, a bit different, a bit weird. Not all of them, but most. I'm really well, Hal Mockery. I'm doing a lot better, yeah. I just had to take some time off from the stream because I wasn't feeling the best lately, so had to get my health back. You know, just a little bit tricky to focus on art and that at the same time, so. But yeah, feeling heaps better today. How are you guys? Mizushima? No, it's not. Look, I'll have a look on my phone because I have recently actually liked the post. So it should be fairly easy to find, right? Let me have a look and then I can find the name and show you guys. Wow, I sure have liked a ton of art posts lately. Can't believe it. Hang on, he did this, so it's Gus Fink on Instagram. Where did he post the art toy? So the art toy is called Scalbo, and he has a couple of other like plush monsters as well. I'll share his Instagram account to you guys. Just give me 1 second. And easier when I pull it up close. Because his artwork is really, really cool. I really love his stuff. Okay, so I'll first share a link to his full Instagram account in the chat if you guys want to check that out. And where is that plush toy? There we go. Okay, and the second link I'm posting is direct link to the plush toy. And you can also see a couple of the other plushies you can get if you want to pay a little bit more. So he doesn't have a store, which is a little bit, you know, different. Most people I've seen all have stores, but yeah, he doesn't. So you have to just message him directly on Instagram and he sends you the payment details that way. You're glad I'm doing better? You are doing pretty good. Well, that's awesome to hear. You might have to ask me to post a pic of my horde sometime in Discord. Good to hear. I definitely will try that, Kishinobi. I've shared a couple of them here on the stream, so are you familiar with Honey Lambs' plush toys? I'll share a link to you. Go and check out Honey Lamb's plush toys. He makes some of my favorite plush toys ever, so if you're not familiar with his work, you are missing out, let me tell you. Egg Boy, exactly. We are doing a Humpty piece today, so it's for my Humpty Dumpty storybook. So I've planned the coloring, and just trying to get all these little flecks off. So I've planned the colors on Procreate before I started, and hopefully, you know, I can get a nicer look than I have on Procreate. That is what I'm looking for. So. We will see. We will see. So I'm not sure if it's quite wet enough yet. Sorry, dry enough yet. So we'll see. I'm gonna do one more layer and spread that out as well. Is the music a little too loud for you guys, or is it okay? What do you reckon? Let me know if I should turn it down a little bit. I hope that's not too vibrant. I don't want it too vibrant, but watercolor does have this tendency to go oddly brighter, you know, once it dries, so not sure. There we go. Just a little bit more saturation than I wanted. And it's also smoothing it out. I think I'm getting a little bit better at managing it as well. You know, experimenting with the watercolor itself. Yeah, it's so strange. Everyone, like, whenever I tell people I do oil painting, they're always like so amazed and they say, "Oh, wow, that's so hard. You know, you must be amazing." And it always surprises me because I feel like watercolor, which is, you know, a lot more common to people, is so much harder than oil paint. I've always struggled with it a lot more than with oil painting. So, I don't know, maybe people just aren't familiar with oil paint and they always think it to be harder than it really is. These are very creative. Spider eyes on a bunny is something you didn't want to see. Okay, right. Not your cup of tea then? I actually have that spider bunny and I love the spider bunny. There's a pic of mine on my Instagram account if you want to have a look. Seems like a good balance for you. You're on your phone with headphones. Okay, well, I'm sure if it was going to show up any errors, it would be on headphones. So I think we're all good then. I'm sure we'll be okay. Well, I'm really, really liking the look of this so far. I think it's quite beautiful. These are nice, thank you. Do you scan these prior to watercoloring just in case something goes wrong? Of course, yeah. I actually don't draw them straight on the paper. I print them onto the paper and then paint on them and then draw over them because it's just way too much time if something goes wrong, you know, for me to have to redraw everything. So yeah, I take some shortcuts, but you know, the end product still looks exactly the same. The unfortunate fate of Mr. Humpty Dumpty, exactly. Don't worry though, this story is going to have a bit of a different ending, so he'll be alright. But yeah, I feel like obviously this is a little bit different saturation. I probably would have liked it slightly toned down. You know, it's quite vibrant, but I'm not too upset with it. And I think once the blues start to come in, we're going to see a little bit of toned down pinkness because currently it's really pink. So, yeah. Hello, Sarah! I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? Have you been still streaming? Because I haven't seen you stream for a while now. Napalm, how are you? Yeah, smart, exactly. Work smarter, not harder, right? That's what they say after all, so. Okay, I reckon we can start with some blue. So I'm going to need a different brush because that one is way too thick. So we will start mixing up a good blue. I'm going to clean out this area because I reckon I can need that for my blue. You know, I always have trouble with my blues because it's hard to find the right one. And I'm going to have a very light blue here. So I actually might test it on some different paper I've got on the side, just to make sure it dries to the color that I want. And do a little bit more purple than that. Greetings from Colorado! Welcome! Thank you so much. Greetings from Australia. I hope you are doing well today. I reckon a little bit of this green color mixed into my blue. It's going to give me the same shade as I've got on my example. So I'm going to have to try and keep it light. Nice, beautiful light color. Because I kind of have not a pure blue, but a little bit of a sea green blue. So, trying to get that exact shade. Where can I have it? So I've been trying out a couple of different shades here. I might go a little bit more blue again. So I reckon that's slightly too green. And I really like the translucency of the other blues. There we go. We'll see how we go. You work in video editing, so backing up files is a must. You never thought about artists backing up their art. Oh, you have no idea. I have like 2 8 terabyte storage drives just on one of my devices, another 2 8 terabytes, and then 2 500 gigs and another terabyte. So I have a lot of storage, and it's all for art and saving art files and client files and all those kinds of things. So yeah, definitely. Artists need a ton of backing up, let me tell you that. Also, if you ever happen to spill over your artwork, you know, having that backup is so awesome. Like, I haven't ever done it, but there's never not a first time, you know? Never not a first time. So you gotta be ready for those little mishaps happening, otherwise you'll just be devastated, right? And being prepared really helps take the nerves off of things like starting a painting, because you know if you wreck it, you can simply start over. You know, no harm done, nothing lost really. So you can't wait to see all the Humpty stuff done. Thank you. Yeah, it's well on its way, trust me. We're getting close. I've just had, you know, a couple of trials on Procreate, And I really want to try this traditionally. I feel like I'm going to get a lot nicer look if I do this traditionally, so that is the goal. We will see how it all turns out. So I'm getting nice flecking here, which is especially what I'm after with all the traditional techniques. And that's something that's really, really hard to reproduce digitally. So I'm talking about all the nice flecking of the paint. That just adds a little bit more interest to the piece. So on Procreate, I just felt like the whole piece turned out to be quite flat. And I really didn't like that, so, you know, trying to tame that as much as possible, but because I don't want too much sharp lines, but I do want a little bit of that flecking to come through. You love the perspective. Oh, thank you, Danjan Artman. Really appreciate that. I've got a couple of different poses of Humpty falling actually, so he goes through the motions, as you can see. You've just bought your next 2 TB hard drive. You had 1 TB for ages until you started recording your stream videos. For art, fills up quick. It really does. It really does. I'm actually considering not saving it on my hard drive anymore and just exporting it to YouTube because it takes up so much space, you know, it's ridiculous. Looks so good already. Thank you. I hope so. Really do. Okay, so I reckon I can maybe start. I think so. Humpty's eyes were green. I'm going to give him some more green eyes here. Just gonna mix up a little bit of paint. There we go. So I'm really liking him with those green eyes. He looks splendid. So yeah. Next thing is I need to mix up some skin tone for his face. And I want a little bit of pink in that. Not too much. I need some yellow. Test it out on some paper to the side. Hopefully I have a good color. Because I really like the one that I have in my mock-up. So that is really nice when you have a mock-up you can work off of, you know. It's really so helpful. There we go. There we go. That is almost exactly, if not exactly, the color that I had in my mock-up. I am really happy with that. Can you hear my best egg pun? Off the top of my head, I am not great with puns, so unfortunately I don't know of any. Not familiar with any egg puns, sorry. A little bit of pink needed. There we go. Now I need to do the hands. I probably need a thinner brush for the hands. This looks so lovely. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Thank you, Aoife. Really, really appreciate that. I hope you're having a wonderful day as well. Humpty sure goes through a lot, poor soul. I know, right? We all have days where we can relate to Humpty like this, can't we? I'm sure we all have those days. Alright, let me do Humpty's tiny little fingers. They're so cute. I mean, how can you not fall in love with these little tiny fingers, right? So sweet. So I'm going to see if I can clean up some of those sharp edges around Humpty's little fingers. So I really did not need those. There we go. Hello, Jason. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Did you stream today? Do I have a hard time starting projects like this? No, not really. Most of the time my process is very planned out. So, you know, I sort of do the sketch. Once I'm happy with the sketch, I scan that in, print it out, start the watercolor piece. So it's not really a very daunting process to me. It's all very much planned out, prepared. So I always know what the next step will be. And if anything goes wrong, I just take a step back, start over. So it's never really that much of a problem, luckily. The biggest issue is planning the colors, doing the composition, but I always go through a bit of a process to figure that out as well. Probably one of the most challenging aspects of you know, of this book has been working out how to do the contrast and having the colors work together without clashing. So a lot of the time, you know, I have to think about, you know, I wanted Humpty's pants to be blue. So if I want the pants to be blue, I cannot have the sky blue as well, unless it's a very deep dark blue. So I needed to think about what color am I going to make the sky then. And if I have the sky pink, I cannot make the girl's dress pink as well if she's going to overlap with the sky. So I really need to think about, you know, which colors do I want to use in my piece and which colors are going to interact together in the composition and plan that out accordingly, because if I don't, at the end of the day, you're going to struggle to see Humpty or you're going to struggle to see the girl and it just won't work out really well. But because I think about that ahead of time and I sort of plan some coloured compositions as well, it tends to just work out because I don't just dive in and start it on the piece of paper. Yes, you did, but you messed up your drawing. Oh no, how did you mess it up? What drawing did you do? You can see the fear in his eyes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well that's good. If you can see him being scared in this scene, then I've nailed it, you know? You guess omelette is slide this time that you don't have an egg pun. Oh my goodness, that's a good one. That is a good one. So what happened to your drawing, Jason? I'm so sorry to hear that. That is the worst when that happens, isn't it? Truly is the worst. Okay, so next step is I need to do the beautiful muted red. And I think I know exactly how I'm going to get that muted red look. So I'm going to take a bit of my tan brown color and mix it a little darker. You definitely nailed it. Here's the cracker, no yolk. That's a good one too. You guys don't even need my help with the puns. You've just got them coming. There we go. I don't want that fresh color. And this muted color is exactly what I'm looking for, so let us go and add in the beautiful ribbon. There we go. Nice and delicate little Humpty. So I'm going to do another layer over the left side because I do need it to be darker. There we go. Perfect. It's pretty much exactly what I wanted. Oh my goodness, Kishnobi, thank you for the bits. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You always have such a hard time starting to draw for some reason. Oh no. Why do you think that is? Like, what do you feel holds you back most? Humpty listened to Caretaker a little too much. Why is that? What is Caretaker? Good egg jokes in this chat. Well, you know, you guys just got the puns coming. You guys are really good at those. So I'll show you guys up close what Humpty's looking like. So he's got his beautiful ribbon there. His t-shirt is going to stay obviously stay white, but I'm going to work in a little bit of green shadow to it here and there, so it's going to look slightly different. But yeah, slowly getting there. I might just add some red to Humpty's tiny little mouth as well. That is so small. Okay, let us see if we can do some shading here. Just want to add a little bit of shadow to certain areas of his shirt because I don't want them to look like, you know, they're not painted. But I don't want them to be overly saturated either. So, a bit of a mix. I feel like this just gives it that a little bit of colour without being too much. You can see that it's not left undone. And that's what I want. I don't want it to look like I forgot about colouring it, but also wanted to stay white looking. It looks so different across my two monitors. I've got a larger monitor to the side of me, and it's a much better quality monitor than my stream monitor is. So it's always interesting for me when I look at it, at the monitor right in front of me, it always looks so washed out, and like you guys can barely see the background, but on my other screen, it does look a lot better. So hopefully you guys have actually good screens, unlike my stream one, which is not the greatest. Right, so I feel like next thing I can do is probably darken up certain areas of his pants, because I don't want to go over the face just yet. So we can make a start on that. And I'll clean up this area so I don't have any residual paint on my palette. There we go. Just the start of a shadow, so I'll let that dry because I don't want it to be don't want it to be too strong. Okay, time to add, I feel like, little details to the face. I might go with my bigger brush for that. Yesterday was about plus 20 Celsius here, but today you got about a half a foot of snow. How does that work? That sounds intense. So how cold is it today? Whereabouts are you from again, Kishnobi? No worries, Jason. Enjoy your luck. Okay, so, I feel like it's time to add little details to Humpty's face. So I'm going to slightly shade certain areas that I want a little bit more pink. So his cheeks need to be more pink. You rather enjoy this translucid, dreamlike music. I know, right? It's like ever since I use Pretzel Labs, and ever since I found this playlist, or rather I should say radio station. It's their ambient station, yeah. And ever since I found it, I felt like, you know, this is just the perfect stream music. It's so relaxing, and yeah, I love it. You're in Canada, it's about 1 degree Celsius right now. Oh, right, okay. Well, that's a big change, right? I cannot cope with that. I'm from Australia, and to me, that seems like that's just too much. That's a little too much, right? I like when the weather is slightly more predictable. So, okay, so we need to go a little darker still with the cheeks and the red bits. There we go, so Humpty's face is getting a little more rosy, you know, trying to give him beautiful, bright cheeks here and there. I'll see if I can darken up certain sections of his eyes. Just give him a little bit more life to those eyes. There we go. Let's see if I can make the mouth a little darker as well. Lately, you've been into a lot of 80s electro synth music. Ah, okay. I can't say that I really know what synth sounds like, but I'm not generally a big fan of electronic music. It's either a like or don't like for me. Like I hear a massive dislike or I dig it. So really depends for me. So to make this into a book, do I have to look for a publisher or how does that work? It really depends. So for me, I'm just going to self-publish. Because I studied graphic design and everything, I'm able to, create the layout of my book myself. And so I'm going to create the book and get it done print on demand. So, well, either print on demand or pre-order. I haven't figured it out yet, so we'll see. But essentially, I have to print my own. And it's not as cost effective, but I probably don't have the funds to get in with a publisher because they either charge you up front or you have to invest a lot of money, and I just don't have the funds for that right now. So I'm doing this myself. But the idea is, once I have this book done, I can show it off as an example to publishers, and they can then pair me with future authors that are looking for illustrators. So it's something that I'm going to add to my portfolio to hopefully get me future work. And also a fun project that I just want to do for myself. So a bit of both. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, Humpty's rosy cheeks are getting there. He's looking a lot happier. So it's time to add a little bit more depth to, a little bit more contrast to the bottom of his, what do you call it? His pants. So I'll do my best to get that done. For some reason, the paper always seems to go much more crumbly. The paint seems to go more crumbly the darker it gets. So I'm not sure why that is. I'm really liking that colour. That's exciting. Glad to see where this is headed. Well, thank you, Kushnobi. Yeah, I definitely have deep plans for this. Alex, hello. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Okay. Now we need to blend that in. Oh no, Humpty's falling? Yeah, he is. He's not in great shape right now. He looks so round and soft, you just want to poke him. Well, I doubt he's soft. I really do. I think only snake eggs are soft, and I really hope Humpty is not a snake egg. Because those are really not all too pleasant, right? I'm not a fan. Okay, let's see. Can I add a little bit of shading to his eyes as well? I just don't want them to have this stark white look. So gotta tone him down a little bit. So I'll go over in gouache anyways, once I'm done with this whole thing. You're doing good? That's great, Alex. Yeah, I'm doing really good. Feeling a lot better. He looks so good and soft. You won't be so round. He won't be so round soon. Yeah, that is true. He definitely won't. Okay, I will quickly be right back. So give me 1 second. And I'll be back. You can see a birdie in the glass? Yeah, exactly. That is little Zazu. I can show you. Hang on. If you go check out his website, you can read all about him. You must be heading to bed. Have a good day. No worries, Kishnobi. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're unbanned? How come you were banned? I don't remember why you were banned. Okay, so we have the base colors there. I'm really, really happy with how they're looking. Humpty is starting to have a bit more of a shadow to him and a bit more form, so that's also really good. And I really love the natural flecking created by the watercolor, so tons better than you know, having the Procreate flatness. It just didn't give it justice, I feel like. Thank you for the 50 bits, Kishnobi, on your way out. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. You don't even have a website. Zazu's impressive. Exactly, he's one famous birdie, so... got his very own website. Okay, so next step. So I actually had the rim of the hat white previously. I think white works better than having it red, so I think I'll stick with the white. These bits will help Humpty cushion his fall. Goodbye, no worries. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. He can grab onto them on the way down. So. Alright, so I need some more shading on Humpty's little face. There we go. You can really see the regret in Humpty's eyes for having sat on such a high wall as an egg. Truly, right? Truly. Well, I hope I've nailed that because, well, that is the idea. So, that would be really good. Really, really good. Need to mix up some more egg color because I gotta keep shading this face. It's so annoying when I get these tiny flecks of my brushes onto the paper. Really disruptive. Maybe I should invest in better quality brushes. I think it's telling me to. Wonder if anyone has done Humpty Dumpty illustrations in egg tempera. What exactly is egg tempera? I've never heard of that. It's an old painting style where you mix egg yolk with pigments. Okay, I gotta check it out. Does it come out really crackly, do you think? Hello, Sportler. How are you doing? The egg yolk dries and it solidifies the pigments to the surface. Right, okay. So it's a really different technique then, I guess. Hi, Leash. How are you? I hope you're well. How are you doing? Were you streaming today? You've been better? Oh no, that's not good. Hope it's nothing serious that's wrong. Good, you're just working on some commission work at the moment. Oh, that's awesome. What have you been commissioned to draw or paint? Is there a playlist link for the music? Um, Usually, so Pretzel Rocks posts the current song that's playing in the chat. But if you want all of the music that's playing, get Pretzel Rocks, the music app, and open their ambient station. That is the music that I play on here. So Pretzel Rocks ambient station, pretty much what we do here. I'm so surprised that the colors are coming out exactly the same. Really happy with the process so far. Humpty is looking quite adorable. Quite adorable. And I'm going to do the clouds soon as well. Going to add them in with some pencil. An oil painting of someone's child. It's actually been a nice break from your more fictional work. Okay, so it's like a portrait. You love his trousers. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love his trousers too. They look comfy. They look incredibly comfy. And comfy is good, so. How come I got... This black doesn't quite look black. It almost looks, like it's got some gouache mixed into it. I don't know why that would be. So you're really gonna mix up some proper black. Okay, it's a bit more black. Alright, so I reckon it's time to start Humpty's shoes. Because I'm essentially happy with the way that the rest of him looks. So, time to start these dainty little shoes of his. And the other one. There we go. Alright. I'm trying to get a little bit more contrast into the piece. That's why I'm adding all of these darker areas. Yep, fun stuff. I'm sure it is, I'm sure. Thank you, Leash. You're also just watching the movie Ophelia, the one with Daisy Ridley, and it was pretty good. Ophelia rings a bell, but I can't say that I've seen it. It's just really familiar. The name is really familiar. Doesn't Ophelia have that actress that played in Spider-Man? I don't remember her name, but she was Spider-Man's girlfriend. I think she had reddish hair, but I don't remember her name. Not in the movie and not in real life, so how terrible of me. Truly, truly terrible. I'm gonna try and add a little bit more contrast to Humpty's eyes as well. really, really love the color of his eyes. They're beautiful. Okay. I reckon it's time for us to do the hat as well. So, gonna start that. There we go. Thank you for the follow, Frichels. Appreciate that. Please introduce yourself. He's so cute. Thank you. I'm glad you like him. He's part of a storybook I'm working on, so we've been doing the pencil spreads. Pretty much, I think for the past 6-ish months we've been working on Humpty. Maybe a little less than that. I reckon it would probably be around 6 months. Sounds about right. There we go. Humpty's little hat is done as well. So I'm going to work some green into that, but I will be right back. Give me 1 moment, guys. So whereabouts are you from then, Frichels? Well, I am so glad I attempted this in watercolor, because I really do feel it brings a lot more interesting shapes and patterns to the piece. It's much better than the digital version. I'm just always a fan of, you know, traditional art, so I guess I'm a bit of a sucker for that. Is the best way to get in touch about some graphic design work through the email on your website? Yeah, so hang on. I can whisper you. How do I do that? Hang on a second. Let me whisper you a link to my design information. That's probably easier for you to get in touch through that email, because I have my design email is a separate email to my art one, and so if it's art related, then yeah, my art email would do just fine. But if it's graphic design, then I'll send you a link to my design one. So there we go. So you can go check out that link that I just sent you. But yeah, otherwise, if it's art related, my normal website, I'll drop the link to you in chat for that as well. There we go. Hey, how come that's not working? Sorry. I'll try this one. There we go. So that's linked to my art website as well. But yeah. So what's your profession? You're a hairdresser again, right? Right, Alex? Or do I have you confused with someone else? I'm pretty sure you're a barber or a hairdresser. Is that the same thing? Or is it a little bit different? Well, I don't want to go too much darker with his clothing. So I'll see if I can go slightly darker. And then I'm going to do some lines over his clothes as well. You're a barber, yeah, okay, cool. Well, I hope that you enjoy your career. You seem to have some pretty challenging clients sometimes, so... This needs a little bit more blue. A little bit more depth on the one side here. There we go. So I just like having a little bit more contrast. It just, you know, makes him feel slightly more round, which is perfect. Both are hairdressers, but it's more usual to describe women's hair. Okay. You love it. Well, that's awesome, Alex. I'm so happy for you. Great that you love your job and are passionate about it. And I can imagine, you know, when you have a challenging client come to you like that, being able to see that end result is really satisfying. I mentioned I was doing a book. Yes, I am actually. So I am working on a Humpty Dumpty storybook series, and this is one of the character designs where Humpty is actually falling. So yeah, part of a long project. We've been kind of working on it for the past couple of months. So yeah, but I'm really, really happy with it. Hello, Dart Guy! Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so happy you are here. Guys, Dart Guy was actually streaming earlier, so go and check him out over here. He has an amazing art stream. He is so entertaining to watch. He really teaches you a lot about the art process and also everything that's involved in like comics, and we went through a YouTube video as well during his last stream, and he's actually working on his very own comic series. So yeah, you guys really got to check that out. Something very unique and different, and he's involving a lot of other artists in the process as well. Okay, so I need to darken up this hat. So I'm going to do another layer, and first I want to just go over and make certain sections darken, not the whole thing. There we go. Little Magic Princess, thank you for the follow. Whereabouts are you from? You try, you do more than try. You have an awesome stream. Everybody should know about it. Everybody should. I wish you'd stream more, honestly. That's my only gripe with your streams. You don't stream enough. Love if you streamed a little bit more. But you know, I understand. Life gets in the way and things aren't always that simple. You gotta really. Yeah, you do. But hey, don't be hard on yourself. I really do understand what it's like to, you know, to want to stream more and just not having quite the time. So I'm just dabbing in some different colours in his hat over here. You tried traditional yesterday. It was a disaster with the setup, the lighting, the camera, oh boy. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is truly awful. But yeah, we all have those days, so don't get discouraged. I've had a lot of those mishaps happen on streams when, you know, I tried something and it just didn't work out. Like one example of that, if you go to my YouTube channel and you rewatch my video on Cosette and the, I think it's Cosette and the Rabbits, you can see how that just didn't turn out right. You know, sometimes we try something and the paper isn't right, the paint isn't right, or, you know, we had this idea in our head and it just didn't come out that way. Traditional art setups can be complicated for sure, yeah. What do you guys tend to do when something doesn't work out? Like, do you leave it off for some time? Or do you, like, have to tackle it right away and fix your problem? Your mic needed to be reset at the start of today. Why? Why is that? What went wrong with your mic? Well, I've got beautiful flacking on this hat. Hopefully that'll actually focus for you guys. It's always hard getting this thing to focus. But yeah, this hat is looking amazing. I'm so happy with it. So I have one requirement still. I feel like with the color, I just really want to get some more depth on his shell and a couple of different elements like that. So I'm gonna have a look and see if I can do that. So if the issue, hang on, you think you used the wrong USB port. Okay, right. Well, I feel like some mics need to go through USB 3, yeah, and if you don't make them go through that, they'll stutter and get interrupted and have a lot of issues. Oh, Dark Guy, you won't let that go, right? So the joke behind that is, I used to set bird sounds as my alarm for the mornings to wake up. And over time, you know, every time I heard bird sounds, it made me think that, you know, I gotta wake up, I gotta go get ready, do something. And so we were joking on Dark Guy's stream before that whenever I hear bird sounds now, it sort of, you know, triggers me to go do something. But gradually, so I've changed my alarm since, and luckily it's helped. I'm no longer as stuck hearing bird sounds and thinking I have to do something. But you know, lesson learned, don't make your alarm a sound you like, because it's gonna make you eventually hate it, trust me. Strange words done that. Very strong line. I don't understand it. I really don't. There we go. It's looking really nice. Well done as always. Thank you, Dark Guy. You usually walk away from it for a moment so you can refresh your brain and come back with new eyes. That's what I do as well, Leash, yeah. You know, if I get stuck on a piece that didn't work out, sometimes just getting a bit of a breather really, really helps. And yeah, I feel like at times you are over critiquing it, and when you come back, it actually isn't as bad, and you see how you can fix little things, and you know, you've just been overcritical. You should be doing that as well, but you're so stubborn, sometimes it gives you a burnout at the end. Yeah, I can imagine. You're going self-employed in a few months. You're needing some help with a few things getting set up, and you're trying to get streamers you enjoy to do some bits you're not so good at. You feel you would remember who has done what that way rather than going to someone here. So what are you going to do by being self-employed, Alex? It definitely takes a bit of training to be consistent about it. You also end up burning yourself out with frustration sometimes. Exactly. I think we all do. We're all guilty of that. And, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, you're tempted to want to fix it right away. But sometimes fresh eyes are really helpful. Thanks, Dark Guy. Quirks are good. My Audie's gorgeous. Little magic princess. Thank you. We've all been there. Exactly, exactly. I think it's quite normal, you know, to feel that way. So are you an artist as well, Little Magic Princess, or what do you do? Are you an art collector or just have an interest in art? By the way, Lee, she mentioned you were working on a new oil painting. I'm guessing that was one of your personal pieces. Do you have any process pictures of that yet? Because I would love to see. I've been so curious how that thing's gonna turn out. Wondering what you're up to. Tiny little Humpty hands are so fun to draw. I mean, love. It's so cute. I mean, how could you not fall in love with little tiny pudgy hands, right? Cutest thing ever. So I think we're getting close. Probably my main issue at the moment is just the shell not having enough form yet. So I want to see if I can just play around with that a little bit more and hopefully get it there, you know? Not terrible, but just wanted to have a little more colour just here and there. Also, Humpty's lips need to be a lot more pink than they currently are, so I'll go over them. And I really need some depth below Humpty's little face. And see if I can work in some more darker colours. You're moving shops. You've been offered a chair rental at another shop closer to the city centre that charges more for haircuts than the place you're in now. You have to pay the person that owns it a fee to work in the place, but you get to keep what you make for the most part. If you do this, you're not employed by the shop, you're just working through it, so you'll be self-employed. That is really cool. Do you like that idea, Alex? Can you like, choose your work hours and everything like that? You like the pink gradient blush I've added around him. Thank you. That's going to be the skies. I'm going to have some clouds as well. But still going to figure out how I'm going to do the clouds. We'll see. It's cute. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm really, really pleased with the colours. Nice and vibrant and fresh and, have a bit of a storybook feel as well, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so I reckon we can start the graphite part, right? The part where everything comes to life with the pencil. So I have my finest pencil, which is super, super thin. I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah, it is so thin. So I'm going to add some details now that we've finished the majority of it. Actually, what I might do, before I do that, is add little blue stripes for these bars of his. I reckon it's going to show up a lot better in watercolor. Yeah, that's really exciting news, Alex. I'm like, a lot of people really love the idea of being self-employed and actually end up being more productive that way, putting more passion into their work than ever before. I personally really enjoy being self-employed. I feel like it suits me a lot better. So, do what's good for you. What drives you best. Yeah, it's more flexible like that, and you can have things the way you want them to look and promote things the way you want, which you feel was holding you back a bit at the place you're in now. That makes sense, yeah. And I feel like, you've probably reached a point in your career where you want to put more effort into things like that, And some people don't care about treating their customers better or putting more into like the aesthetics of the workplace, things like that. And those things all matter, right? Those things count. And so I feel like it's really, really sad. But, you finally found a way where you can put more into it despite, them holding you back. So that's really good. Really, really happy for you. I imagine it's going to be a little bit more stressful though, not knowing, because you're probably going to have to manage your own income and all those things. You have less security with that, but I'm sure you know your clients as well, and I'm sure they'll tag along, follow you around. We did that with our dentist when our dentist moved, and you know we really love our dentist and didn't want to switch to another, so we followed him to the new place. Treat your customers well, that'll happen. There we go. So all of Humpty's little stripes are done. Really happy with how they're looking. Okay, now it is finally time for the pencil touches. Yeah, the security isn't there, but you would hope you would keep a few people because it's only 15 or 20 minutes from this place. That makes sense, yeah. I guess, you know, you couldn't really advertise while you're at the workplace because that would go against policy and all that, but you know, word of mouth speaks and people will find out, so I'm sure they'll follow you eventually. So this is always the part where I feel the whole piece really comes to life, where I really get happy with it. Imagine what it would feel like, being an egg like Humpty, trying to move and being all round and wobbly. I don't know what got into his head to get on that wall in the first place. I feel like that's kind of risky, you know. For an egg, it's a very dumb idea. Very dumb indeed. One slight issue I have is I need the bottom of these pens to have a little bit more shadow. So I'm gonna extend that slightly. That's a bit better. You never know, something must have gone through his head. Who knows, right? Who knows? Is he human size, or are the eggs, or are the humans egg size? Well, that's a good question, right? Was it like a miniature universe where Humpty was like a giant essentially to everyone else? I don't know. I feel like rather Humpty is a giant egg, and imagine how much egg you can get if like all eggs were Humpty's. But you wouldn't want to eat a sentient egg, would you? Not with feelings like Humpty. Humpty's definitely getting a lot more depth now. It's really, really good to see. Maybe he likes to chill on high places looking at the scenery. Well, if you guys have seen the rest of my spreads, there is definitely beautiful scenery around. So I can't say that I blame Humpty. You mean an egg's an egg, right? Sentient or not, that would mean a mean breakfast. Yeah, probably true. Probably true, but I mean, Humpty's really friendly. I mean, you wouldn't want to eat Humpty. You couldn't do that. Really do love the added contrast that the watercolor version is bringing to it. I'll show you guys a combination of both techniques, the one in Procreate and also the watercolor one, and then you guys can let me know which you prefer. If an ostrich egg can feed like 3 people, he could feed the town. Maybe they all killed him. Maybe it was murder, Maybe we should have started an investigation to see what happened. Maybe they just faked trying to help Humpty put him back together, and that's why they couldn't, right? We never really tried. I really love his little ribbon. I feel like this ribbon really suits him. The plot thickens, exactly. Do you guys think it would be the king? Or, you know, maybe it's a greedy king. We always see those movies with the kings keeping everything for themselves, and this king had to keep his people happy and feed the town, but he, you know, he didn't want to take some of his own riches. So he took Humpty and fed Humpty to the town. Maybe he framed Humpty, you know, for treason. That seems like a good way to get rid of Humpty. And the egg whites too, yeah. Every part of Humpty got eaten. Every part. Luckily not in this story. This story is going to be a little different, thankfully. So Humpty's fate isn't the same. So I'm definitely thinking I'm much happier with the way the hands turned out. Some of the other elements are more interesting on the traditional version. The only thing I'm less happy with is the colour of the pink. I feel like this pink is just, you know, a little too vibrant, but we can work with that. We'll see how we go. Maybe once I add the gradient clouds, things will start looking a little bit better. More toned down. It's definitely not the worst. Yeah, once you've got an idea in your head and you want to execute it exactly that way, you can also get over picky, and I feel like that's probably what I'm doing. Being a little over picky about it. He's definitely getting a beautiful form. I'm really happy with it. Okay, time to tackle Humpty's face. So, finished his hands. Now it's the fun bit. I always love doing the faces. It's what brings him to life, you know? There we go. I'm so happy that I tried to do the colour mock-up before I started this traditionally, because it saved me from a lot of that experimentation process and probably saved me from redoing the whole thing, because, you know, it can be quite challenging when you're working with watercolour and you don't quite have it worked out yet what colour you're going to make things. Because watercolour is not the most forgiving medium when you want to erase stuff. So yeah, really happy I did that. Okay, time to shade the eye, and I have to be so careful to not overdo it. I think I'm just going to dab some of that off. It's looking really nice. I just want a little bit more white. So luckily now I've broken that stark white look. The funny thing is, when my sister and I were young, she liked to eat the egg white, and I liked to eat the egg yolk, and neither of us would eat the other part of the egg. So it kind of worked out really nicely, because my parents would divide it to us, and she would eat the white and I would eat the yolk. Until we grew older and both of us started, you know, eating both parts of the egg, which was a little bit more healthy. But yeah, it was pretty funny. His little face is so cute. Really, really pleased with how it's looking. The nice thing about the pencil as well is it helps me reduce the saturation, and generally I don't mind colour, but my pieces can't have too much colour because they need this soft pastel-y look to them. So I always try to reduce the amount of colour not have it pop too much, you know? And this really helps with that process. So, I'm really happy about that. Had to go do something. Did you miss anything? No, not really. Nothing big's been happening. Or just working through. Time to do his adorable little mouth. It is so cute. Really, really enjoyed doing his tiny little mouth across all my pieces. Except for the fact that the artwork's looking really amazing, crisp and nice. Thank you. Yeah, the magic pencil really does a great job at pulling everything together. I'm always happy with its end result. Really, really happy. Look at those tiny teeth, guys! Aren't they just the cutest? They're so sweet. I'm really, really happy with what Humpty's looking like at this stage. So, I feel like it's time for us to be able to start some other, like the highlighted bits. So, I'm going to get my gouache and add a couple of highlights here and there. This is the other part where everything comes to life. As much as I hate gouache, it is incredibly helpful for this bit. Hello, Paper Moment! Humpty and Necker, how are we both doing? Humpty is doing pretty good. This is the first one we've coloured, and he's come out so good. I'm really, really happy with them. Should remember the clouds though. I still gotta add the clouds. We also need to do the stripes on Humpty's hat. So I'm gonna go in and slightly add those because we want that beautiful white colour back in. Probably do another layer once this is dried. It's just looking a little too pink still. Okay, now those little shoes need a couple of highlights as well. So I'll start by doing this section. So how have your streams been going at the moment? I noticed you've been streaming lately. You just haven't been able to make your streams. Always in a different time zone for me, unfortunately. I hope you've been having fun with them. Love his trousers, those high waist pants. High waist pants do nothing to hide his tummy. Not really, right? They don't really do anything for his middle, so yeah, unfortunately, he still looks a little pudgy, but that's okay, we still love him. He's all good. We love him just the way that he is. There we go. Now his shoes have a little bit more form, which is awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna add the other layer over this hat of his. Hopefully we get some more white. If we can maybe not do any smudging, that would be great. Sounds like somebody's in someone else's way on the road. People are horning, using their what do you call that? Their tutors to each other? I don't know. Never used the word before. Okay, let us see if I can add a little bit more pink to Humpty's tiny mouth because I feel like he just needs a little bit more flesh to him. That and his little nose. Maybe a little bit more to his cheeks. There we go. Bless this painting, thank you. You sorted the lag, 8 p.m. UK time. Yeah, okay, so that would be ridiculous hours for me. You've just started a new Tabby Cat commission. This one is graphite again. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Your work always looks amazing and you do a great job at animals, so I'm sure it's gonna turn out perfect. I'm glad you like it, Robin. I'm really glad. So yeah, all in all, now I need to do the graphite clouds, and once that's done, I'm pretty much sorted. You know, I've pretty much finished it. So I will quickly be right back and leave you guys with the painting. Right, so time for all of the clouds. You gotta head off school run soon. Nice to catch up with me again. Hopefully you see me soon. Well, thank you, Pink Moment. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm sure I'll catch one of your streams sometime soon, so shouldn't be too long. All good. Okay, so this next step I'm really, really nervous to do, but I really have to because I need the clouds in the background. So I'm going to test just a bit of it on a piece of paper, and because the paper kind of works a little bit differently, and I feel like my smudges, you know, when I work with my smudging tools, they just don't seem to blend as smoothly. I'm wondering if maybe the smudger I have is a little too dirty, so I'm going to try a different one. See how that works. And yeah, that is definitely coming out much, much cleaner. Much better. So I reckon it's, yeah, tactical smudging. Exactly. Yeah, it's just, I think the other one's a bit dirty. Because I got some clouds that I need to add in. If you guys remember the original drawing, I don't think I did this one on stream, but I've probably shown you guys these drawings a couple of times. So I need to add the clouds back in, and they start around here. There's another one here right above Humpty's little foot. And I'm just going in little stitches so I don't do too much, and hopefully it's gonna look like clouds by the end of it. Hopefully it looks exactly like the original, because that's where I'm wanting it to head to. Gotta step out of the comfort zone, exactly. We can't always just do everything that's safe, otherwise nothing's gonna look good, right? The sound in the background is my favorite parrot, Zazu. My only parrot, Zazu. So yeah, he happens to be my favorite because he's my only one. There we go. So that, I'm probably going to add some color to these once they're done. But for now, I just want to see if I can get their shapes right, you know? Then I'll be happy. Oh, wrong side of the pencil. Well, we've got our first clouds, guys. And I actually think they're looking much better than the original, which is interesting. So round about the third one here, we've got the other cloud coming through. So let's start that one over here as well. I didn't think we would finish this one today, but we're definitely going to finish it. That means we can probably do the other Humpty pose tomorrow. Awesome, thank you. I'm glad you like it. So by the end of all of this, I will be so excited to have my whole book in my hand, be able to hold it, you know. I hope Zaz is not too loud for you guys. I know he can be pretty loud sometimes. By the way, Robin, did you end up getting that sketchbook from Vivi yet? If so, did you like it? Not yet, hopefully soon. You just ordered one of her new prints that she made 10 of, so you think she will send it with that. Oh, okay, so she hasn't sent it yet. Got it. So does she have a store yet, or did she just post you something? So I know she was thinking of setting up a store, but always mentioned how much work it was going to be to curate all of her work on there. Yeah, you talk about being lazy with sending stuff. She's been a little crazy with cafe commissions. She has, so you'll like take your time. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I feel like most of the time, you know, when I order stuff from artists especially as well, I'm not always too fussed about when I get it. Just that I do get it eventually. You know. Oh, she does have an Etsy. I gotta find her Etsy then. Do you mind sending me a link? Because last time I checked, she did not have an Etsy. These clouds are definitely looking really beautiful. I am so happy with them. So I got another one that sort of comes out below that one. And there's one that comes out from his shoe, and another that comes from here to here. So I've got to make sure gotta make sure I get them all in the right spots. And then the last two clouds are right next to Humpty's face. So start around here. I will just be right back, guys. Give me one second. She sent you a picture of the sketchbook about a week ago. You're super excited to receive it. Well, that sounds awesome. I'm sure you're going to really enjoy it and fill it up with wonderful artwork once you're done. You still need to do that gothic house I talked about. I really love that picture you shared on, was it Twitter? Pretty sure it was on Twitter. Oh, that beautiful gothic house. I think you tagged me in it. That one was so beautiful. There we go. All the clouds are done. Really, really happy with them. So it's definitely looking a lot more natural now. I don't think I'm going to add more color over them because I feel like if I do that, they're just going to, it's going to ruin the fade, and I really don't want to mess with the nice beautiful fade I've got. So I actually feel like this has helped a lot with the oversaturated pink areas as well. So I'm very happy to see that. And I much prefer the traditional version over the digital version. I mean, Humpty is looking so, so cute. Absolutely adorable. Love his little expression. So yeah, definitely think this has made me feel like I want to do the whole book in watercolor. It's definitely going to take more time and be more challenging and have more things open to going wrong. But I feel like the end product is going to be so worth it. And I really want to see that end product, you know. If you guys ever had an idea you were really set on doing, and there was a hard way to do it and an easy way to do it, and you guys ended up going the hard way or the easy way, and why? Sometimes it can be so risky you don't want to risk it, right? But other times you're just so tempted and you're like, well, I can't not. It's going to be so worth it if I do, right? I feel like this is one of those moments where I just can't let it go. Just have to let it play out. I have to see what it looks like traditionally. Have my mind set on doing it this way. I also much prefer working in traditional media, like obviously doing the digital version took me, I reckon, about 2 to 3 hours. Not this one, but one of the more complex pages I coloured took me that long, and I know it's going to take me a lot longer if I do it traditionally, but it's just so much prettier, you know? How can you not? So I'm just so set on doing it that way. I really hope little Zazu isn't too annoying for you guys right now. I know he's very loud. Hope it's not bothering you guys. When you go to Tasmania next month, you want to try and find some interesting postcards or trinkets to send back to her. That is so beautiful, Robin. She would love that. Thank you, Leash. I'm glad you like it. Every time you find the more difficult route usually means there's something very unique or detailed that you wouldn't get if you did it the easier way. Exactly. And I feel like we all struggle with that, you know, we all want to have that beautiful effect that we envision in our heads when we start a project. It's just so hard to let go of. Akira, how are you? Hello. Glad you're here. How are you doing today? I'm going to see if I can add a little more contrast to the hat in this back area. Probably add a little bit darkness to his tiny nose as well. I'm gonna make sure this thing is a nice tip before I do that. It's so hard when he's so small to work on him like this. There we go. Yeah, he fell, Neumann. He fell. How are you? How's your week been? You gotta go and start making dinner. Great to see me, and thanks again for the awesome package. No worries, Robin. Thank you for ordering from my store and supporting my art. Always happy when I get to package something to you guys. It's so much fun. But yeah, guys, I reckon Humpty is done, and I feel like there's definitely a lot more variety in the traditional version than there is in the digital version. So I am very happy I've done him this way. And I reckon once I do the more complex spreads as well, I'm going to see a lot more to it than the simple version, because I can blend so many different colors when I do those complex spreads. You're ready for the weekend. How am I? I'm doing a lot better, Neumann. Not being too well over the past week, but I'm finally back on my feet, so really happy to be able to get back into art. And I'm slowly working through. I started doing some mock-ups, like color mock-ups of all the Humpty Dumpty spreads. They're not done, I obviously have more to go, but I'm really, really happy with where everything's headed, and Humpty's looking really good. So a lot of potential going forwards with the watercolor one, I feel like. So I'll probably end up doing all the Humpty spreads in watercolor. Probably do them both ways, digitally and in watercolor, just so I can, see the difference and choose which one I like. Good to hear I'm up again. Thank you, yeah. It's looking really good indeed. Thank you, Dark Eye. I hope it will. So, not sure if I should add more contrast to certain areas, because I do want it to have that beautiful softness. So you guys can see the clouds are looking nice and faded. It's just added that beautiful extra layer that I was looking for. So I'm really happy about that. I love the flecking that I've gotten from the watercolor over here. It has blended beautifully smooth, which was one of my main concerns doing it in watercolor, whether I would get that lovely, beautiful, smooth blend. But I feel like I have. And I feel like the colors are definitely true to what I wanted, true to the digital mock-up that I've done. So, yeah. So I reckon it is time for us to find someone we can raid. So I'm going to have a look and see who's online. And always nice to see when an artist is hyped by the progress of their own project. Well, this one definitely has me very excited, Neumann, because it's a project I've been wanting to do for the last probably 4 to 5 years, and I've just never had the time. So finally I have, enough time to work on the full project and, publish my own book, hopefully. So that is the idea. Okay. So we have a couple of different people that we could raid. We've never raided something pretty. How about we give her a bit of a raid? She's working on what looks like, I don't know, looks like ink? Ink or watercolor. So that looks like a fun stream to go to. I reckon we could raid her. I actually haven't spent a lot of time on her streams before. I'm not sure why. I think I've just not seen her online all that much lately. So just hasn't been easy for me to find her. Thank you, Dark Guy. I'm so glad you like it. Well, we are going to raid her, so before we do, Dark Guy will share the raid message for you guys that you guys can copy and paste when we go to her stream. You guys can share that message, and then that way she knows which of you are from my stream, who's come to say hello, So that would be awesome if you guys can do that. But I am going to stream same time tomorrow. So if you guys would like to see another Humpty spread being done, we're going to do a different expression tomorrow, where he's falling through the sky. So yeah, hopefully we can get him done as well, and then I'll be on my way to finishing all 3 of the first spread, which will be awesome. So I look forward to seeing you guys there tomorrow. But before we do, I think it's so this is the raid message. You guys can copy and paste that, and then we will go and raid something pretty. hope you guys have a good night. I've really enjoyed spending time with you all. It's been wonderful chatting and everything. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.